does chasing after our dreams ultimately lead to disillusionment and dissatisfaction? As if it's just not enough to sustain our fulfillment. Why the more we achieve and acquire, the emptier we feel, so we quickly get fixated on what next to get or have so we can bring the thrill, the confidence, security, sense of self-worth, and satisfaction back into our lives. After all, what is the point of manifesting our version of a perfect life if it leaves us unhappy and empty? In this episode, we reveal how we've been taught to fail and produce ultimately disastrous results simply because our approach is actually backwards in our quest to create uninterrupted happiness and success. What we uncover in this episode is astonishing, so go ahead and click the subscription button and let's begin. Welcome all you powerful manifestors to the AOM Art of Manifestation channel. I'm Manifestation Coach Sterling Mire. An extraordinary number of people become disillusioned by the lack of satisfaction they feel after the momentary thrill of achievement is over. Maybe for a second they feel relief and contentment and excitement once they achieve something, but then they return back to being dissatisfied and unhappy. It's almost a cliche. How many times people who have won awards wake up the next morning and realize the change they sought by winning the award, the very motivation to win the award, has deceptively let them down. Life hasn't changed as they thought it would. 1960s blues singer Janis Joplin worked hard, manifested a stellar success as a singer, and once she achieved extraordinary global success, she thought she would then experience the love and acceptance that she was going for, that she so deeply craved her whole life. She had high hopes that this longing that she had created during her childhood days in school would finally be satisfied at her high school reunion once she reconnected with her peers. And yes, people congratulated her, they gave her a warm welcome, they celebrated her, but afterwards she was confused because she still felt unloved and unaccepted. Because you see, she had created that she was unlovable during her adolescence. And what's worse is that she convinced herself that it was true when it never was. She thought that others thought she was unlovable and wanted them to change their minds about that and love her. However, what Janis didn't realize was that she was the one who created that inauthentic belief about herself being unlovable. She's the only one who can transform that untrue belief, not her schoolmates. That's what she thought, but it's untrue. And that's why nothing changed for her after her high school reunion. So ultimately, her success meant nothing to her because she didn't feel accepted and loved. It didn't change the belief that she was unlovable, and with no apparent solution, the hopelessness and it consumed her. And she continued to seek relief from the pain it caused by escaping further into drugs. She died from a drug overdose not long after. And she was using the formula that we've all been taught. Have, achieve, to do the things that you want so you can be happy. Success does not create happiness, but happiness creates success. I'll give you another example. My client came to me just the other day with the question, why am I so unhappy the next day after I just had this amazingly successful presentation that I gave? And I thought it would really change the way I feel about myself. But I explained it because her approach is backwards. We have all been sold not only a backwards approach that will never work for anyone, but we are seriously suffering from this faulty and destructive formula. We've been misinformed by society that when we have or we get something, we can do something and or be happy, and it's backwards. When the focus on who we are authentically being We can do anything and everything as long as we have that focus. We are limitless possibilities, and those possibilities are one step away from becoming our reality. An example of how we have been misinformed about how life actually works is we tell ourselves, when I get the money, I can take a class, or I can do this, I can do that, then I can be happy and successful, or when I finally find someone who will love me, then I can experience love, I can be happy. But actually, when we are being loved, loving others and ourselves, we can do all the things we want to and attract or have people who truly love us. That is be, do, have. Not have, do, be. How often have we thought, if I have the money, then I can travel, I'll be happy and free. When I get the promotion, I can relax and I'll be so happy. Or when I lose weight and get into shape, that's having the outcome. Then I can do things like go swimming and dress up and go out more, and I'll have excitement and confidence, and I will feel physically and emotionally better. We have been taught all of this backwards. It's quite astonishing how we've been convinced incorrectly about how life really works. Okay, so I'll bring it down even further with this last example. And how, be, do, okay? So here we go. Have is the approach that actually works for effectively manifesting happiness and success. For example, let's say I create, I'm being optimal health. Because I am being optimal health first, by connecting to the experience of what optimal health feels like, how it transforms and changes my day-to-day living, I begin to gravitate and I feel compelled to act, which is the do, certain things that reflect that way of being optimal health. This produces an outcome of having. In other words, if I am being optimal health, energetically, I start to feel inclined, motivated to make choices that are in alignment to who I am being. I feel inspired to take actions such as joining a gym or hiring a trainer, or maybe the idea of finding a workout buddy pops into my head. I become conscious of what I am eating and consciously make different choices. That is the doing that leads to the having of the intended result. This is be, do, have. When we use this approach, it's also quite magical how it comes together so easily. Like my original idea, optimal health, becomes a reality, and it all unfolds magically as well when I use this approach versus have, do, be formula, because that approach involves a lot of struggle, stress, deprivation, and overall failure. We all want happiness and success. We all want to make a difference and be loved and accepted as our unique self as we grow and evolve. Who we are being is also going to attract that from others. If you want love to surround you, you have to choose to be love and therefore express love. If you want people to be generous with you, you have to choose to be generous. If you want compassion, you have to be compassionate. If what we want to experience doesn't exist within us, it will not exist around us in our personal world. So, what is the takeaway today? Your level of satisfaction, happiness, and fulfillment as each moment unfolds and as each circumstance arises is determined by the choice you make about who you're going to be in life. You are creating and choosing who you are going to be, either unconsciously or consciously. Now, raise your awareness by paying attention to who you are being. Distinguish it by noticing first how you're feeling. Which adjective identifies who you're being? If you create who you are being from a place of authenticity, which is rooted in love, you will always be satisfied and happy. If you create from inauthenticity, you create from a place of fear. And when we feel fear, we are not satisfied. When we feel love, we're always fulfilled. To understand how to create authentic ways of being, tune into episode You Can't Manifest Anything Without This. Being authentic gives us the power to create and manifest anything we want in life. What's even more incredible is that we manifest easily, joyously, fearlessly, happily, and gratefully. And what better way to live? If we're being authentic at all times, we disappear suffering and we experiment and receive the fulfillment of our desires. It's actually quite simple. Thank you for watching this episode so that we can continue to bring you illuminating content designed to help you master the manifestation process. Please subscribe to this channel and click the bell for notifications of upcoming episodes. If you have a manifestation question, please leave us a comment. We may even select your question and highlight it in our upcoming episodes. Thank you again for watching. I will see you next week. Meanwhile, manifest responsibly.